Your first alert forecast with meteorologist Corey Thompson.
Good morning. The time now is 6:43, and an early spring was the prediction this Groundhog Day.
It was, and appropriate that we had that Benjamin Franklin introduction too. Also an early weatherman. Not sure if you used groundhogs though.
Yeah.
Today, of course, the big star turn for groundhogs and Punxsutawney Phil in particular. So weather-wise is about that. Which outcome does Phil see most often? Is it more winter or early spring? It's a bit of a coin flip, and close listeners will have noticed Kristen actually said the answer earlier in the show. I think she's got this one. We'll have to wait and see. This year, as Kristen noted, it was no shadow, which meant early spring, which is what we like to hear. We've seen some pretty good evidence for it so far this year, and hopefully we can keep that trend going as we go over the next little while. Not a lot of shadows out there yet this morning here in eastern Iowa, but soon we've got a nice looking sunrise on our Sigourney City cam. Some other areas though seeing some cloudiness. You can see it in the distance in Sigourney, but it'll be a little while before it gets to there. Temperatures around 34 degrees, 31 in Cedar Rapids and Dubuque, as well as Waterloo. Winds out the east though, making it feel more like the low to mid 20s to start off. Precipitation not likely over the next 24 hours. Winds also a little bit breezy today, but staying generally in check. It's the possibility of some fog that has mostly shifted to our west and south out there this morning. Could see a little bit more develop as we head toward tonight too. We're keeping things fairly quiet though, thanks to an area of high pressure that's to our north. This cold front actually moved through last night, so we are actually seeing a cooler air mass settling in, helped by the easterly winds around the southern edge of that area of high pressure. Air flows clockwise around it, and so those easterly winds coming on the southern side helping to keep us a little bit cooler. As noted, it's also pulling in those clouds, so we'll likely see a grayer morning in many cases. Clouds have already made it about halfway through the viewing area in some spots, and will continue to spread over the next few hours. Now, some clearing could develop again as we head toward this afternoon, but clouds hang on in other spots, so not a guarantee that you'll see the sun again before it sets this evening. Now, tomorrow likely starting off with a decent amount of cloudiness, some fog possible, but we could see some breaks in the clouds develop then as well. Temperatures today likely held back, as noted multiple times this morning, but we will stay above normal. 39 degrees in Manchester, 43 in Tama. Our normal high is 29 degrees or 30 in some spots. So even though clouds will be increasing to keep us cooler, we'll be staying above that mark, at least for the near future. Now, we do have a storm system off to our southwest. You may have noticed that area of low pressure on the Midwest surface map there, but it stays to our southwest. We're going to see rain and thunderstorms develop out ahead of it, but generally staying out of our area. So it leaves us pretty dry and quiet here in eastern Iowa. That extends into early next week too, but then later in the week, a storm system gathers here on the plains and gives us a shower chance as soon as Thursday. But that's almost a week away, so we have several days of dry and comfortable weather to enjoy. 40s likely as we head through the weekend, and then 50s make a return next week, and that is so far above normal, more than 20 degrees in most cases, and so that will be very, very pleasant indeed. Feeling like yesterday again, perhaps. Let's key in on the next Wednesday, perhaps, in particular. No chance of rain there, but highs in the 50s. Weather-wise question, which outcome does Punxsutawney Phil see the most often? Is it more winter or early spring?
The answer is A, more winter. Actually, only 20 times ever has he called for an early spring, so we're all experiencing a rare morning today.
We are indeed. It's like 20 out of like 120 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty rare thing. Now, of course, Punxsutawney Phil's accuracy a little bit worse than a coin flip, which is really what you don't want to end up with when you're predicting this kind of stuff. However, we'll wait to see how things pan out this year. So far, so good. It certainly feels like early spring now.
I really hope he's right, but yeah, only 39% of the time. Not sure how good those odds are. I appreciate the question that you knew I would know the answer to.
You know, you did your groundhog research.
I did.
A committed journalist for a very important topic, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Corey.